Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart look like they've been snubbed from the Olympic team, and I'm here to break it all down. All that and much more on the Knicks Digest. What's up, guys? It's your boy Dariel from Knicks Digest. Let's get right into today's video. So it's been reported that Jrue Holiday and Devin Booker have appeared to be locks for the Olympic team roster, joining the likes of Kevin Durant, LeBron James, Stephen Curry, Joel Embiid, and Jason Tatum. So about a month ago, there was a list that was revealed, and it had the finalists to make the Team USA Olympic roster. If we take a look at the names here, we got a lot of different players, but two players to be specific, we're talking about Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart. So as far as them being on the finalist list, it's a great thing for the New York Knicks to get some recognition. But after the report saying how Devin Booker and Jrue Holiday are part of the look like they're going to be part of the core, Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart, man, they have no chance. If anything, Jalen Brunson has a little bit of a better chance. But if we go back into the finalists, so the players that are still available: Bam Adebayo, Jarrett Allen, Paolo Banchero, Desmond Bane, Scotty Barnes, Miles Bridges, Jaylen Brown, Jimmy Butler, Alex Caruso, Steph Curry, Duncan Robinson, Trae Young, Anthony Davis, Anthony Edwards. Now, as far as the players that have not been listed as part of the core group going to Paris and that still have a chance that aren't Josh Hart or Jalen Brunson, the names that pop out to me, I mean, Bam Adebayo is one that's probably going to make the team because Joel Embiid, even though he's part of the core list, I don't think he should play, and I don't think he's going to play because of that meniscus tear. But you never know. Joel Embiid might want to play. But if he doesn't, I think the first pick is probably going to be Bam Adebayo. After Bam Adebayo, Paolo Banchero, I think is still too young. I don't think they're going to take him. Jaylen Brown from the Boston Celtics, he's another contender. Jimmy Butler, I don't think Jimmy Butler would actually want to do it, so I think he's not even going to be considered. Steph Curry is part of the core. Trae Young, but again, it depends on the roster and the needs of the team. Anthony Davis is definitely a name to be in contention. Anthony Edwards as well. De'Aaron Fox, Paul George, Tyrese Halliburton. James Harden, I don't think would want to be a part of it. He probably wants to party in the summer. Tyler Hero, absolutely not. Chet Holmgren is way too young. Tatum was already a part of the team. Brandon Ingram will definitely be in contention. Kyrie Irving. Jaren Jackson Jr. will be in competition with Bam Adebayo and Anthony Davis if Joel Embiid isn't going to go. Cam Johnson, probably not. Walker Kessler, probably not. Kawhi Leonard definitely doesn't want to do it. He wants to rest as much as he can. Damian Lillard will definitely be in contention. Donovan Mitchell, Chris Paul's a little too old. Bobby Portis, Austin Reeves, and Derek White. There's a lot of names that are going to be in contention, but the one thing that I just wish that if any of the two players are going to make it to Paris, I really do wish that Jalen Brunson makes it to the team. Now, I'm a little bit more realistic. I don't think so because the names that are ahead of him, they just have a little bit more of that star power. Jalen Brunson really just started coming onto the scene last season. Coming to the Knicks for the first time and beating the Cavs in the first round and then leading the Knicks to a 6-game series against the Miami Heat. So Jalen Brunson is really starting to make a name for himself, but it's only been one season. And the other names, Paul George, Anthony Davis, James Harden. If he wants to go to Paris, like these names, they've been around for a while as far as like being in the limelight, and Jalen Brunson just started putting his name into contention. But the reason why I would love Jalen Brunson to go to the Olympics is because every single time the Olympics come around and you get the group of players, the best players in the world, the LeBrons, the KDs, the Steph Currys, it seems like it's just basketball heaven. And then for the rest of the players who are not on the level but are still on the team, there's different tiers as far as NBA players. The superstars, all-stars, stars, all that stuff. But as far as like the other players, who do they look at as far as being the best player in the league? Now, the players that are probably going to be on that list, LeBron, Steph, KD, Dame, Giannis, Joker, like those names are always going to be on the list. But then you got the younger guys that are a part of the Olympic team. Whenever the younger guys are on the same team with the older vets who are consistent all-stars and are superstars, they always take something away from the LeBrons, from the KDs, from the Steph, and they bring it into their team for the following season. The perfect example I can think of is the 2008 Olympic team. The 2008 Olympic team, we had Kobe, we had LeBron, we had Melo, we had Jason Kidd, we had Michael Redd, Carlos Boozer, we had Chris Paul, we got Dwayne Wade. Like, it was a who's who at the time. But to be specific, a future Knick, Carmelo Anthony, who was on the Denver Nuggets at the time, the following season, Carmelo Anthony led his Denver Nuggets team to the Western Conference Finals, where they ended up losing to the Los Angeles Lakers in 6 games. But in that season, Melo continuously said in interviews that he took a lot of knowledge away from Kobe Bryant. The way he prepared for games, the way he was in the weight room, the skills that he worked on, and his individual skills and his individual skill set. Melo, up until that point, was always looked at as an all-star. He made numerous all-star games. He was always looked at as one of the better talents in the league. But that run he had in 2009 that led his team to the Western Conference Finals, it legitimized Melo's stance in the league. So this is what I'm saying about Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart. If Jalen Brunson somehow would be able to get his way onto the team, the knowledge and the game that he could soak up from LeBron, from KD, from Steph, like the knowledge he can soak up that he will bring to the Knicks the following season, we might see Jalen Brunson even take that much more of a leap. And that's kind of crazy to think about, because the leap that he's taken since he's left Dallas, like in my opinion, he's one of the better point guards in the league. He's the best point guard in the Eastern Conference right now. As far as the league in total, in my opinion, he's top 3. Right now, a lot of the NBA media, they don't have Jalen Brunson in the MVP conversation. Now, granted, it is a bit fair. The record is the record. And then on top of that, with the injuries that we have, we might be lowering in the standings. But as far as the MVP conversation, next season, if he comes into the next season and he brings all that knowledge that he soaked up from LeBron, from KD, and he takes even a bigger leap and he averages 30 points and he's leading his team to the best record in the East, like, he would undoubtedly be in the MVP conversation. But if I were to put my money on it, I don't think Jalen Brunson or Josh Hart is going to make this team. Speaking of Josh Hart, it's a little interesting how the reason why it looks like Jrue Holiday is part of the core that's going to be going to Paris is because the USA team committee, they really, really value Jrue Holiday's ability to play on both ends of the floor. And ever since Jerry Colangelo stepped in to take over for the USA reigns, he's really, really implemented a system where he's not just putting all-stars together. He's really implemented a system to get the right type of players to build a roster. He wants the leaders. He wants the all-stars. He also wants the role players that are the best role players in the league. And for the last 5 years, you can say that Jrue Holiday has been one of, or if not, the best role player in the league. Knowing what his role is, being that defensive stopper, but also being able to provide something on the offensive end. But this is where I bring in Josh Hart. Josh Hart might be a better version of Jrue Holiday. Jrue Holiday is already an older player. Josh Hart is younger. And Josh Hart is able to provide what Jrue Holiday is able to provide. Now, Josh Hart doesn't get the same recognition from his peers that Jrue Holiday does. I feel like a couple seasons ago, or it might have even been last season, if you do a poll of who's the most underrated defensive player in the league, everybody was saying Jrue Holiday. Now, again, like I just said, Josh Hart doesn't get that recognition, but he does have an offensive game. He is looked at as being one of the better defensive players in the league. So it just kind of sucks that Josh Hart, I don't think, is going to get a fair shake at it. I think Jalen Brunson is gonna have a better chance at making it, but ultimately, I don't think he will make it. So obviously they haven't finalized their roster, so we don't know if one of the two are going to make it. But it seems like they're not going to make it. And Jalen Brunson, to be a little bit more specific, I just feel like the media, the NBA, the USA committee, whatever you want to call it, they should put a little bit more respect on Jalen Brunson's name. But we'll see how things shake out. The final roster is usually announced maybe the beginning of the playoffs or whenever the second round starts. That's when the final roster is always announced. So we'll see. The final roster is usually 12 players. So as of now, we got LeBron, we got KD, we got Steph, we got Joel Embiid, and we got Jason Tatum. That's 5. And now with the addition of Devin Booker and Jrue Holiday, that's 7. So we got 5 spots left, and there are a lot of players left to fill in those spots. So hopefully, Jalen Brunson, all the luck in the world. Hopefully you get one of those spots and you soak up the knowledge from one of the greatest of all time, LeBron James, as well as KD and Steph Curry. And what you can bring to the season the following year, it would do wonders for the New York Knicks organization. But that's it for today's video, guys. I want to say thank you for checking it out. Leave it in the comments and let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think that Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart were snubbed? Or do you think that there's still a chance and they can make the team? But until next time, guys, you guys know the drill. You guys know the vibes. Tobbs Gibson for president. Jalen Brunson for all the MVPs, regular season, finals MVP, all the MVPs. But until next time, I'll check you guys out in the next video. Peace.